Hey there, you're welcome back. And now we are going to discuss on how to use the VLOOKUP function on Microsoft Excel. The VLOOKUP function is a very helpful and powerful tool which is very easy when you know how to use it. VLOOKUP stands for vertical lookup. It is a function that makes Excel search for a certain value in a column in order to return a value from a different column in the same row. The syntax is equal to VLOOKUP bracket, the lookup value, comma, the table array, comma, the colon index number, comma, the range lookup. Also, to discuss further on the argument, we have that the lookup value specifies the value that we want to look up in the first column of the table, the table array, which is the data array that is to be searched, the column index number, which is an integer specifying the column number of the supplied table array that you want to return the value from. We also have the range lookup, which defines what this function should return in the event that it does not find an exact match to look the value up. So the lookup value range has an argument which can be set as true or a false. It is true when it is to return an approximate match from the search. Then it is false when it is to return an exact match for the search. I have put together a data table which is going to help in the further explanation of this. In this data table, we have an ID, we have a first name, a last name, email address, the location, and then the age. A quick way to populate or a way to populate the age rephrased will be from this age section, we would search the ID for each of them and then fill them out individually. Copying the ID, we'll go back to this other sheet which has the age of all these members. Then we'll find, which we after finding we have seen that the age is 20. Then we copy. Coming back to this data set, we now paste and input the value of 20. This would actually work, but it's going to take a lot of time, especially when we have a large data set to work with. This is not going to be very good. So to use the VLOOKUP function in this, we'll go to the cell where we want to update. We'll click on equal to, then we type VLOOKUP bracket, open a bracket. Then we check the reference value we want to use for the lookup, which in this case is ID. Then we'll put a comma, go back to the data set where we are looking up from, which in this case is our age data set, making reference to the ID, which is what we are using as the lookup value. Then you highlight all the way, holding it down to the value that we want to populate, which is the age. When we get to the age, we take note of the colon index number, which is the value, the colon number of the colon that we are searching from with respect to the reference colon, which in this case for age is 4. Then we go back to the formula bar, we click on a comma, then we type 4, then we click on a comma. Then it's going to ask us if it is a true or a false match that we are searching for. We are looking for the exact match, which is therefore a false match. So we type false, then we put a bracket. Also note that the true can be used as 1 and then the false can be used for 0. Then we'll click on enter. Then to populate the rest of the value, we double click on the square brackets here, and this automatically populates the data for the rest of the value. This is an easier way to search and update a data set.